Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Benidorm Crazy Marcus here with a video that I don't really like doing. I hate doing these sort of videos. The ones where it's just me, the camera and me basically having a moan. Because they're not really the best videos, are they? You watch my channel to be happy, be positive, but it's about time I've done the video anyway. I've been putting it off for a while, like holding me tongue on it, biting me tongue on it, holding me breath, just saying like, don't do it yet, because it ain't really worth it, but I've got to do it anyhow. So, as you well and truly probably know, it's not unusual for Benidorm to be featured in British newspapers. Like, it does seem like Benidorm's probably been featured in British newspapers more than like any British town itself, probably. Hate to say it, the British press love making Benidorm out to be a dump, a hellhole, a shithole. Like, they just like making Benidorm look terrible. And to be quite honest, quite a few of the other YouTubers around here, they're sort of like bouncing off the papers and like adding Benny Beats, the official album by me, Crazy Marcus. That's me, guys. It's out now with such brilliant songs as Benidorm Forever, Fiesta Forever, Christmas in Benidorm, EDM Dance Anthem, Benidorm Hardstyle Christmas, Fancy Dress Madness. Such great songs on this brilliant album, guys. Total of 10 songs for €10. Brilliant price, guys. Get it now. The link is down below. Perfect Christmas present, birthday present, whatever you want to give someone, it's the best gift to give. Benny Beats the album, guys. All made by Crazy Marcus, me. Best album ever. Negative media impact that the papers are putting out about Benidorm. And the thing is, I would like to put out the positive side to it, like actually say, well, hang on a minute, like why are papers and other YouTubers are moaning about Benidorm, like trying to make it out to be a bad place, when none of these papers or other YouTubers are showing the actual nice parts of Benidorm. It just seems like most of the British press, they just go down one area really, the Rincon and the British Strip, British Square, that area, like maybe at night, like see how crazy it is. Then they just say, oh, worst place ever, fights every night, really dangerous, like gonna get pickpocketed down there, you're gonna get offered all these drugs and all that, and they're just, that's it really, like that's a report they're done, that's all they need to do for the research, to do the report, then back home to UK, write up the report, oh, what's the title? Benidorm, Europe's biggest shithole, or something like that. And it pees me off, because they ain't been anywhere else other than that one area that gives Benidorm a bad name. That's all they do, guys. They come here, look for the worst areas of Benidorm, don't pump. That's how they slag Benidorm off. They don't come here and go, well, I'm going to fancy something different. Let's go have a look at like the beautiful areas of Benidorm. Let's go to Cross. Let's go Old Town. Let's go to Castell. No, 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 no. They hate them areas because it's too nice for them. They like to see the place that brings in tons of British tourists. They like to see it do shit. That's why they slag us off, guys. They just want more tourists holidaying in Britain. I mean, that is what's killed most British holiday resorts, like Blackpool, Jaywick, places like that. Because your cheap package holidays came into play sort of late 90s, I think it was, sort of that era, around there. I can't really remember exactly when, but I don't say someone will comment down below. But anyway, because of your cheap package holidays, people were more often coming here. Like, at one point it has been here in Benidorm cheaper to come for a weekend in Benidorm for a night out than to go on a weekend out in, say, London or Liverpool or anywhere else in England. But the thing is, like, I don't know why they actually want to try slag off Benidorm, make it a bad place, make it sound real dangerous, so then people's gonna stop coming here. Like, why does Britain hate, like, Spanish holiday resorts? Like, it's crazy. I wouldn't go over to Blackpool and say, well, like, oh, it's a shithole, I've just been mugged, I've just been stabbed, I had a glass beer bottle through at me head. I wouldn't do that. If I went Blackpool, I'd link up with Walk On Outside. I'll go show you some of the good areas of it. I'll show you what's nice about it. Because that's showing you the good side of it. That's showing you, yeah, it's a nice area, like, come here. And that's what I do with Benidorm. I try to show you the nice areas. I'll show you the different sides. I'll show you, yeah, you want a party, we've got the strip, we've got the square. But we've also got, like, the beauty areas, the Castell, Church de St. Jamie, places like that. Real nice areas. And it is so annoying, though, because Benidorm is trying to just make itself look bad, to be honest. No matter how much you try to make it look in a good light, like you're trying to polish your turd pretty much, at the end of the day, Benidorm is just making itself look bad, really. I mean, the statistic I have heard, roughly €12 million a year lost by Brits in cons, pickpocket attempts, stuff like that. And honest to God, Benidorm is giving itself that name of a shithole, a hellhole, the worst place in Europe, because of all this stuff going on. I mean, I admit we've been holidaying here 10 years, we've been living here 5 years now, and it's since the past few years we've lived here that I've noticed Benidorm going from a place that is loved by everyone to a place that's just trying to destroy itself, really. I mean, there's more stuff going on each night, really. You're constantly hearing on Facebook of people getting mugged, getting conned by such cons as the potato pecan, the fake cocktail con, the blind, deaf and dumb con as well. Another thing you regularly hear of is the fights on the British strip. And many of these fights include Benidorm's dodgy bouncers. Now, quite often though, when you hear about fights on the strip or on the square here in Benidorm, there's only the story of the victim or someone who saw the fight. They're making it sound like the victim hasn't done anything. Now, I don't really want to sound too harsh with this, but most of the time, is it because the person who's got hit by the security has been like giving him a bit of lip, been a bit nasty to him, like winding him up or something? You hardly know, because that other half of the story of the security staff and the bar, is always hidden. It's always unpublished. So you never know the half of the story that could mean the most importance. And quite often you do see these stories and think, well, yeah, maybe that is what's happened. Like maybe he's got a bit too drunk, like tried to be a bit arsey with the staff or something, bit arsey with security, and they've belted him one, probably, or they've maybe just basically, half the time, they just will simply say, you've had enough, like, please kindly evacuate the premises, like, please leave the premises. And most of the times, like some Brits, when they get drunk, they tend to think they're everything, really. They tend to think they're tough. So 9 times out of 10, they probably give them a bit of stick, and quite often that does result in them getting a wee bit hurt. And well, the thing is, like, if you come into Benidorm, you just keep your wits about you and you respect the staff. Whether it's the little bloke in the box selling chewing gum and aftershave, or the bar staff or the security, you respect them. Like, they're just doing their job. End of the day, the security guards here in Benidorm, they are there to look after you. Funnily enough as that sounds, yeah. I have heard a few slight stories where security staff don't often really want to look after you, because I think it is if there's an incident in bars here and like police or ambulances are called, the bar gets charged for that call. So quite often if there is something happened in a bar, they will just tend to say, well, can you take it outside, sort it outside, so it's not in the bar. Mainly so they don't get that charge of like having the police and ambulance come, but also as well, like, not to upset other people in the bar, which, I mean, it's a good simple thing. But the other rumour going round, I actually am starting to believe this now. most bouncers here in Benidorm, most security, are ex-Russian mafia. Yep. Crazy, really. Hence why we do quite often hear of many violent fights with security and Brits or tourists. Apparently, rumour has it some security staff do carry pepper spray, but that ain't the only painful thing they carry. Apparently, some even have knuckle dusters. And yeah, bit dodgy, really. I mean, why would a security guard require knuckle dusters unless he just loves his job? He loves hurting Brits. He loves giving them a good old white hook and not knocking them out. Maybe he gets a bit of joy out of it. Actually, I think I do as well. Get a bit of joy out of hitting people when I were at karate. So maybe I should be a security guard in Benidorm. But yeah, it is really crazy because the end of the day, I hate making Benidorm out to be a bad place. Like, I really hate it. I most of all love saying that Benidorm's a great place, like paradise on earth, better than anywhere else, but with everything that actually happens with each passing day, like more with the dirt, more with the criminal underbelly comes out, and like, you hear more about how bad it actually is here. And then you're like, well, what's the point making it out to be a good place, really, when you're fighting a losing battle? Like, you're trying to say, yeah, it's a great place, but then you got, like, reports in newspapers, oh, Benidorm TikToker gets pickpocketed. Is Benidorm really the most hated place in Europe? I've covered this story before. I hate to say it, the TikToker's fault. Like, he should not, I mean, not a TikToker, either a YouTuber, guys, he should not have been filming the potato pecan, because obvious reasons, you're gonna get stick off them, and thankfully they didn't nick anything, but they did try to, like, get in his bag. They tried to nick his camera as well. Luckily enough, they didn't get his camera, because if they had, have probably smashed it up, destroyed it, then no footage of the potato pecan on it. And funnily enough, the same lad had the tatties, you know what I mean by that, I imagine, guys. He had the confidence to actually go exchange a few swear words with them, basically saying, well, like, what you doing? Like, why are you trying to mug me? Not the best idea, mate. Like, if they try to mug you, you just, like, check you got everything and carry on with your day. You don't go back and have a go at them. Like, I'm a first dan black belt in karate. Every time I see potato pecan, I avoid it. Especially if I'm filming, I'll just turn my camera the other way, because I don't want trouble. And at the end of the day, yeah, I know what you can say. These cons are maybe trying to make a bit of money. They're making a bit of money to, like, live, because I imagine quite a few people who do these cons are probably live in quite bad conditions. Maybe a few of them coming from the infamous Gypsy Lane, which I'll cover in a minute anyway. But yeah, no real need to like con people who come here is or like pickpocket them. But the thing is, they do it. And funnily enough, guess what? The police don't care. They know it happens. They may often not nick the stuff, confiscate the money, but half the time, the police just, if they see him, they meet up somewhere secret, get the cut off them, and leave them be. Like, Benidorm is one dodgy place when you do your research. Like, we have lots of stuff going on there. Potato pecan pickpockets, fake homeless, ladies of the night, cocktail cons, just all stuff really to like con you out of your hard working money. And these pickpockets, like, don't think they're stupid. They've tried to pickpocket people for ages. Half the time, it is literally just as quick as a hand in your pocket. If you got out in there, they got it and they're off. A TikToker the other day, he was saying he got pickpocketed up on the Yellow Bit Road. Someone just simply bumped into him and their hand went into his jumper pocket. It's simple as that, guys. It really is. And it's crazy. Like, you don't really want to think it goes on in the place you live. But half the time it does. Half the time the place you live does have a dark past. It has a criminal underbelly. Like, it has gangs and all that. And I mean, some of the stuff that I have heard happen around here would honestly make you think, wow. Like, I could tell you some of the stuff that I've heard happen around here. I've even seen happen around here, unbelievably. But I can't really say that on video, but I'll just say this one thing. I've seen police chases up by our old apartment when we used to live right up the Rincon end. That were a regular occurrence up that end. Yeah. Mad, really. Like, you want to love Benidorm, but you hear of everything bad going on here, and you start thinking, well, like, do I really love Benidorm anymore? Anyway, as I said earlier, back on to Gypsy Lane. Now, if you don't know of Gypsy Lane, it is the little sort of lane up the side of the outdoor market here in the Rincon end of Benidorm, with basically just a lot of iceland, couple of abandoned houses, and it is basically where like Spanish gypsies, Romanian gypsies tend to live. Hence why it's got the name Gypsy Lane, and it is quite a bad sort of area, not really a place to walk at night. Yet, a fair lot of times people have said here in Benidorm that it's going to be refurbished, it's going to be completely destroyed and have like new apartments built on it, new hotels, new bars, nightclubs, restaurants, shops, etc. But it hasn't happened yet. I think I can't even talk. The reurbanisation project of Gypsy Lane and some of the old abandoned nightclubs that actually are behind Gypsy Lane, which you've probably seen as you're coming on the coach. Like, you got the old KU nightclub, you got the Spaceship, just a whole road full of old abandoned nightclubs. And basically that comes into the reurbanisation of Gypsy Lane. They're saying a few of them will be knocked down, they will be like rebuilt into maybe new apartments or something. Yet nothing's happening. Like, Gypsy Lane's probably one of the worst places in Benidorm, one of the worst roads, because there is literally no streetlights up there. If you decide to take a walk up there at night, then good luck to you. Like, even walking up there in the day is a bit dodgy. So, yeah, you can see why it needs like a bit of redoing down there. And to be honest, I think there's a few places in Benidorm that could do with some like redoing, remaking. Maybe, hopefully, with the reurbanisation project to Gypsy Lane and that sort of area, it'll make Benidorm a bit nicer again, but it's not happening. Like, that's the thing that annoys me. You always hear of these projects that are meant to like re-urbanise stuff here in Benidorm, yet nothing happens. Like, there were meant to be a big project done on the Fanti front to basically make it a bit more like Ponente. Never happened. Multi-million pound reurbanisation project of Benidorm Bullring. Still nothing happened. And unbelievably, to this day, they're still saying about it. They're still saying, oh, it's going to be done into an open air arena. When? 2098, when most people will be dead. Like, why say you're going to do something, then not do it? It's like me saying I'm going to go on a diet, then I just continue eating the same old crap I eat normally. Like, I don't lose any weight. Waste of time, really. But yeah, I think that basically comes to the end of my video, really. Been a bit of a weird one as well. Because as I've said countless times, how can you make something sound good when it's trying to make itself look bad? It is hard to do. Honest to God, as the saying goes, you cannot polish a turd. Now, I hate to call Benidorm a turd, but I mean, it's making itself look like one. It is making itself look like a massive, massive turd. And yet, like, people still want to come here. But you still get the occasional person, well, like, is Benidorm really safe? Like, I've heard this happens there, I've heard that happens there. Benidorm's as safe as anywhere else, really. Like, at the end of the day, you just got to have your wits about you, like, know what to avoid, know where to avoid. Like, it's pretty simple, really. But as I've said before as well, is anywhere really safe nowadays? Like, is there any countries in the world, cities in the world, in these countries that are actually fully safe? Not fully 100% safe? Probably not. And half the time, most of this trouble we hear of is quite regularly often because they were in a group of people, like drinking. You're meant to think that let's look after each other. It never happens. Never in a million years happens. We've seen it. We've seen it God knows how many times here in Benidorm. People just sat there on their own, no idea where they're staying. Quite often, not even a clue where they are. We've seen people that drunk, that drugged up, they think they're in blooming Blackpool. Crazy. And it's because their mates leave them. And that's mainly one of the reasons you hear so many of these missing people cases in Benidorm. Like, they come over as a group, they go out drinking. One starts to feel a bit ill, like a bit tired. The group decides, oh, well, he's a wimp, he's a weakling, or she's a weakling if it's a group of lasses, girls, I should have said. Then the group just goes off and leaves them. And 9 times out of 10, you can guarantee the person that has been left behind has nothing to say where they're staying, probably no charging their phone, no idea what their hotel or apartment even looks like or like anything it's by. So if someone asks, oh, are you a bit lost, do you want help getting back home? They'd just be like, well, I don't know where I'm staying. My honest tip to groups coming out in Benidorm: stick together, and before you go on a night out, get something for every single person in that group. I don't care if there's 5 of you, or 28 of you, or even 50 of you. You make sure every member of your drinking group has something that says where you are staying. 9 times out of 10, if they get a bit lost, they can hand that over to someone and they can say, yeah, I know where that is. Come with me, I'll make sure you get back safely. Or they can hand it to a security guard or member of bar staff. They can phone them a taxi. But more than often, it never happens. No one has that bit of paper that says, Hotel Sol Pelicanos, that's where they're staying. No one has it. We have literally seen people, we've helped them back and they don't know where they're staying. We've tried to help them into an area where they might think, well, hang on a minute, yeah, I walked up it to get to the hotel. But half the time you can't really help if they don't know where they're staying at. Anyway, enough said. Enough said. I'll end the video though with this. Is Benidorm a shithole or somewhere that's a beautiful place? Comment down below, guys. See you soon.